Hi there, this is Maher. So in this first lecture of this course, I'm going to explain to you what is OPNsense and what devices they have and who is the owner of OPNsense and the company which manufacture the devices for OPNsense. All of those are going to be including in this lecture. So let's go directly and start with the explanation. So what is OPNsense? OPNsense is a powerful open source firewall and routing platform. So what is open source? That means that anyone can see the coding for the OPNsense and everyone can contribute in programming the OPNsense software. So it is, as I said here, it's in firewall and routing. So it has only function of firewalling and routing. It doesn't have wireless. It doesn't have any other thing. So it's only about firewall and routing. And it's based on FreeBSD operating system. Now, the OPNsense is designed to offer enterprise-grade security in an accessible package. It provides robust protection for networks for all sizes, so starting from small offices to large enterprises. Now, this is one of the devices of OPNsense, which is provided by the company called Deciso, but I'm going to explain to you that later in the upcoming lecture. I have this device over here. Maybe you don't see it from my picture, so let me just remove my picture so you can see. So this is the device, and inside this device there is the operating system, which is called OPNsense. So OPNsense is an operating system running on this device. And actually this device is an DEC device. I think there's 750 and it could be also 740. So now the OPNsense is an operating system, as I said. And you don't really need to buy this device to be able to run the OPNsense. You can just run an OPNsense on a virtual machine. You can run it on a server, any place. You can just have an old computer and then you just install on it an OPNsense operating system and it can run. You can use the community version for OPNsense, and then you can have a free of charge firewall and router in your network by just having this software, which is the OPNsense. Now, what are the features of OPNsense? So there are a lot of features. I just put them in some points over here so you can see them. So the first feature is it has advanced security. So it can do stateful packet filtering, ensuring only legitimate traffic pass through. So it can use the stateful packet filtering. It can use also intrusion detection and prevention system to monitor and block threats. So we can configure it for intrusion prevention and intrusion detection system. It has also possibility to support VPN like IPsec, OpenVPN, WireGuard to be able to access the remote network. So all of those fall into the firewall. Of course, there are more things you can do, especially if you want to use the plugins on the OPNsense, but that's something I'm going to explain it later during this course. The other thing that is nice about OPNsense, it's user-friendly interface. It has a modern, responsive, web-based graphical user interface that simplifies network configuration and monitoring. So you don't really need to go into the command line. You can, if you like to use the command line, you can configure the OPNsense using the command line, but you don't have to, because with the graphical user interface, you can do pretty much most of the things or everything that you need to do on OPNsense. It has a dashboard widgets and reporting tools that provide real-time insights into network performance and security. That's something we are going to check that when we connect to the OPNsense device during this course. Now, the other feature also, it's modular and extensible. You can use the plugins. So plugin architecture allows for easy integration for additional features and services. For example, if you want to do the OPNsense and next generation firewall, then you can download a plugin on the OPNsense. Of course, this plugin also, it's commercial, means you have to have a license for it, but then you make your OPNsense and next generation firewall. It's customizable settings to adapt the firewall to specific network needs. Now, as for the performance and the community, we are going to speak about the reliability and scalability, so engineered for high throughput with minimal latency, suitable for diverse network environment. So the OPNsense devices that made by Deciso, They can provide you high throughput and very minimal latency. It has been tested and everything works perfectly. It provides you also regular software updates to ensure continuous improvement and security patch. So whether you have the Shiso hardware or you are running OPNsense on a virtual machine, for example, you can always use the updates to be able to update your OPNsense to fix some bugs that are in the older versions. Now, other thing that is nice on OPNsense is that it has a vibrant community and support. So the community, it's a lot of people, they for example, work on OPNsense and then they see something that can be improved, then they can report that to the OPNsense company, or possibly they find a way to configure something nice. They can share this information to everybody on the community forum. So that's what is mentioned here, supported by an active global community with extensive documentation. You have forum and professional support options available. Open source ethos encourages collaboration and transparency in development. So as we said that this based on FreeBSD and it's an open source, so there are a lot of people who can collaborate in enhancing this operating system to make it better by just providing some advices or some changes that may the OPNsense company take into consideration and apply it in the newer versions. So those are most of the things that are on OPNsense. So remember, OPNsense is a firewall and a routing device. It does not support Wi-Fi, for example. So if you want to have Wi-Fi in your network, then and also you want to use OPNsense, then you need to connect this OPNsense to some Wi-Fi network. So for example, a switch, and then on the switch you put some third-party access points to be able to provide the Wi-Fi connection. So that's what I was showing you in this drawing. So just on this OPNsense device you connect the switch, and then on the switch some access points, and then those access points will provide the Wi-Fi connection. So this is all what I wanted to explain to you in this first lecture, just a brief idea about OPNsense. So now we know that OPNsense is based on FreeBSD, and it is an open source, and we know that the company which manufactures the hardware for OPNsense is called Shiso. It's based in the Netherlands, and we know also that it makes the hardware makes routing and firewall. OPNsense is based on routing and on firewall. And also we understood that the OPNsense is having a very good community providing support and collaboration into the OPNsense coding. So that's something we have learned during this lecture. So I hope that this lecture was informative for you, and in the upcoming lecture I'm going to show you what are the hardwares of OPNsense that you can buy, which company manufactured them, and where you can find documentation about OPNsense if you want to learn more about OPNsense, of course with this course. So see you in the upcoming lecture.